Hello everyone, Trigan here! Welcome back to this finale for Transport Fever 2 Series 20. So today, if you didn't already know, it's just going to be a ride about the map to enjoy what we've built and see all the different trains. And now we're riding along with one of our high-speed passenger trains. Hopefully it won't my voice anyways won't sound too bad. As many of you probably already know, we're having one hell of a heat wave here in the US right now, and it has been between 84 and 86 degrees in this room all day. So I've got fans going trying to keep me cool. And it's supposed to be worse tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I guess there's supposed to be a thunderstorm Wednesday, and the temperature will only be in the 80s instead of outside tomorrow. It's supposed to be 99, not including humidity and all that good stuff. That'll put it well over 100. It was 100 yesterday, and I'm sure it was worse today, though I haven't checked what the temperature with humidity and everything taken into account was. I figured we'd do today, this got me thinking about what I want to do with the next series. I have been working on setting up the next series. Depending on what I'm going to do, I'm either going to be ready tomorrow to go ahead and record, or it may be a week. I don't know. I was just thinking as I was looking at this, that it would be really nice to do a full loop all the way around the map on the next one. With passenger service just going all the way around the map, just completely. A complete loop, so we wouldn't even have to change trains. We'll have to change trains here in Kansas City if we want to continue going. Look at all the people here, wow. We'll have to change if we want to continue going around the map on the passenger side. And so next time I'd like to actually change that and set it up so that... Oh, here's another one coming right now. So that we could just hop on one train, like you. There we go. And, just ride around the whole map. I just think that would be really cool. I don't know what I'd do for freight, but if I'm going to do that, I might build a custom map. I haven't built a custom map since... last year before last. I'm not even sure when it was. It was a while ago that I was last doing custom maps. I took a 6-month break from this game, and I had to relearn everything after being away from it for so long. And there may be times in today's video where I just shut the hell up and let you enjoy watching the trains go zoom. And of course enjoy watching the trains go zoom myself. Fortunately, with blessed quiet, because Growler doesn't seem to be here. Yeah, you should be so lucky. Oh, God. It's almost... I almost want to invite Lance back, because at least when Lance was here, Growler was sort of, pleasant. No, it's just in comparison to Lance. He was really that awful, huh? I haven't heard from Lance in a long time. So, I think Augusta is our next stop. We just left Kansas City. Oh, and this is this is the fuel plant. Pretty sure that's what this is. It's the fuel plant. See our freight going by. That was some oil being delivered to it. So, yeah, it definitely was the fuel plant. Of course, there's nothing saying I can't do a loop, even if I go with a random map like we've been doing. I just had this idea of having a big central mountain and having the trains all going around, and no cities in the center. But even if we had cities in the center, I suppose we could just do branches off from the closest city on the loop. That would still work out. I've enjoyed having the maps relatively flat. but maybe I should do something a little bit more hilly next time. There's no guarantee that I won't have already picked a map by the time you guys watch this, but if you have any suggestions or preferences, do let me know. God, I love the mod for the cities. Yes, it is making the game extremely laggy. If I speed it up to maximum speed, the game time, the map just lags like crazy. But it does make for some beautiful cities and everything.
You could just put fewer cities on the map.
That is true. I could reduce the number of cities. Oh, it's interestingly lit there. Oh, we got a train here already, too. Let's hop off this and hop onto this. And watch the other train pull into the station. I have found some mods. I found some mods that I like with steam trains. So next time we should have some new trains early on, so we won't be using the exact same trains we've used every time. Because that's one thing that always sort of frustrates me with starting with 1850. There's one train. That's it. You're stuck with that one train until you get the next one, and then that's the only train you can use until you get the next one. It's not until we get in like the well into the 20th century before we actually have some different trains to pick from. Oh, did we just go through our goods plant? I think we did, because I think that's buildings I set up there just for decorative use, and that's a gas station on one heck of a hump there. I don't know if you saw it. So that was Augusta. We should be headed down to Fort Lauderdale now. Pretty sure that's where we're at. Yeah, this looks like the quarry. It's a great big wide station with just nothing but tracks passing through. Let's see, I think we're not gonna go into the city. That's right, because I changed that. So we should sweep out to the right, heading towards the oil wells, or not? I thought we were going to... Oh, no, we're on passenger tracks. That's right. The freight, yeah, look at that. That one's nicely loaded up. I hate seeing them empty. That's right, we're on passenger. The passenger side does go into the city. This is a nice looking spot right here, with the road going under the bridge. And finally, it's our first non-sunken station. Ooh, let's hop off and catch this guy here. There we go. Honk, honk. I'm not sure what station that is. Is that the one with the buses? I did not get a long enough chance to look at it to see whether that was the one with the built-in bus stop on it. Got some nice truck routes going on. It's interesting that it seems like the AI is building roads out further than the city actually wants to expand. I've noticed that a few of our cities, we got like whole neighborhoods that are nothing but empty streets. Well, that's a road to nowhere. I wonder where that was supposed to go that I forgot to hook back up.
Yeah, that's Growler, or that's Trigan, always making mistakes.
No, you were right the first time, Growler.
Growler just made a little mistake there.
And coming up is Los Angeles. It's not that I don't have the ambition to, rename every city. Although it would be a nuisance because you'd have to rename every industry too, I guess. But I just don't want to think up a bunch of city names. There's a lot of train traffic on this route. God, look at all these tower blocks. There we are. Finally coming into the station. And this is the vanilla modern station here. The question is... Oh, yep, here we got another train coming in. I'm going to hop off this one and catch him. We're going to ride him into the city.
That sounds wrong.
Only to you, Growler. Only to you. And then so many of these cities, we had so much trouble with them just growing to the other side of the train station. And then Los Angeles here, there's just nothing but this empty grassy field between the train station and the river. You'd think that's high-value property over there. They'd be eager to develop out there. But instead, there's just these tower blocks that just dominate the train track edge of the city. Wonder if we'll have time to do a freight roundabout too, because the freight line is very interesting as well. I enjoy doing those freight stations. I really like the freight stations that we did on this map, the newer ones. It may end up being my go-to for doing freight stations, at least later in the game when I start needing to move things around. Goodbye, Los Angeles. Now we've got the next stop is going to be the airport. The South Edge Airport. It's odd that I don't see any jets right now, though. It seems like this airport is always busy. And I'm always seeing when I'm editing things and when I'm working on the tracks and everything, I'm always having jets buzz by me while I'm trying to look at the ground. Down in this area, I mean. But no, there's nothing right now. When we want to actually... Oh, I hear one. Oh, there we go. Jet taking off. Who knows where he's headed for? Oh, and one landed. I see him there. Boy, these poor people have to walk a long way. I put the entrance right here at the station, but the terminals are quite a ways down. It's like I used to hate, when I flew a lot, I used to hate going through the big airports. It's so much of a nuisance to see. Okay, yeah, go catch your connecting flight. It's only 10 miles away at the other end of the airport. Some of those airports, and maybe they have them. I have not done a lot of flying since the 80s, so it's been a while. But some of these airports seriously need. That's right, we have a quarry there. Some transportation between terminals instead of making everyone hoof it. That didn't look like he got waved off. That was something I was struggling with for quite a long time, is that airport just had so much stuff going on. But since we managed to get the second runway going, I don't know why they make us wait so late to get a second runway. This one right here, I never did. This section of the city here, it's like a huge industrial park. I never did get any public transportation going over there to that. There's a truck route that goes right on that bridge right we just passed under. but there's no public transportation. That was quite a line up there waiting for us. And we never separated the freight and passenger stations. One of the few cities that we did not separate that. I did take the additional track off here, didn't I? I need to hop off this train, though. And we need to wait for a train on this track. Speak of the devil. Looks like we got some new everything. Yeah, it's so much of this, so much of the mods out there to add new trains in and stuff like that are all weighted heavily on the post 2000. And the way I play, I don't generally get much into the post 2000. You know, we barely passed 2000. I don't think I even made it to 2000 in the last series. I just ran out of things to do. Just gonna flip around there. Ooh, we can race the freight train now. See how much value we're getting for our dollar on these high-speed trains. And those are rather new, because I'd left the trains for the boxcars and stuff for a long time on this route before I finally replaced it with well cars. Not bad, we're just crossing the river, and that's quite a pretty shot there. Just crossing the river and we're already catching up with him. I should have gotten some ice before I started this. Goodbye, E44. I think I found some more E44s too, so the next playthrough we should have some new ones of those to play with. It's not any difference in the stats. I think it's just repaints. But it'll be cool to have that. I've really enjoyed the mod this time around. I don't remember if we had it in the last series with all the different box cars. I found one that has the same thing with tank cars, and I think something similar, though not quite as big, with gondolas. So, you know, maybe we'll have some more interesting looking trains next time. We are really cooking it. 235 and still accelerating. Look, there's one of our trains right there. What's he doing? Looks like a coal mine. I'm guessing he goes the other way. We are on the east side of the map now. That was Centennial, and we're now headed to West Valley City.
You're doing a good job of remembering these.
Oh, I did a lot of work. I forgot I did so much work on this plastics plant. Pretty sure that's a plastics plant. And that right there, that we're just catching up to, is the plastics train. And he's taking plastics up to, yeah, and I put a smaller locomotive on there since it didn't really need something super fast. And this was just this is the last city we just did. I ended up damaging so much of the existing stuff with this one because I just needed to take out so many streets. Let's hop on the other one here. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't think anything north of here has any of these sunken stations. I think this is the only sunken station on the east side. Whereas we used it a lot on the west side of the map. So he's get up here and get a little bit better look at the surroundings. Beautiful city. Ooh, what was that train? Oh, that is one of the sawmills, I'll bet. Because there's like 2 sawmills here. We're using both of them. We're coming down from the north. Hello, cars. Coming down from the north with wood. I think that's the other one right there. And then we also have, I think, an iron mine over here somewhere. And I think this is the newer bridge we built for something I don't remember. I just remember this big long bridge we did to jump over all of this stuff. Like big long viaduct. Key was running empty. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, it's costing Growler money.
And we all know Growler does not like spending money.
That's right. Growler should never have to spend money. You should spend money for Growler.
Spoken like a true blue-in-the-blood capitalist, Growler. Spend the workers' money because they don't have any.
Now you're sounding like a communist.
No, I'm not a communist. I just don't like people being ripped off, that's all. And I believe we're in Frisco now. Look at all the food sitting here waiting to go out. And why is there grain sitting here waiting to go out? That should not be here. I don't know how grain is even getting here because it should be a boxcar delivering the food. So how is the grain getting picked up? I'm not even going to worry about it. We're not doing any more building on this map. Oh wait, I've got to catch a passenger train over here now. You can zoom out and have a better look at the city, though. So wait a minute. Where is the food train? We're just going to look at this real quick while... Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. It's a tunnel. Oh, there's the food train. Yeah, it's boxcars. How did grain get over here? I have no idea how grain got over onto this platform. And there's grain going back, but how? How is grain going back? I'm just going to shut up. It's just going to make me so angry. Where is my passenger train? I'm waiting for it. We got another freight train here instead. Oh, yes. This guy's going to be loaded.
The Growler wishes he was loaded about now.
Just Josh Growler. We do have a farm that comes from over here and goes through, but it doesn't stop at the city, does it? Manage line. No. It goes from the food factory to the farm. That's it. I have no idea how grain is getting onto anything. Unless those boxcars take grain for some stupid reason. They shouldn't. They're boxcars. I can't wait to see what they do with Transport Fever 3. I hope they do something with the stations to make them more realistic, especially after playing Derail Valley. The unrealism on the train stations in Transport Fever really annoy me. I realize that's not reasonable to expect, but it'd be really nice to see something that's more like a real freight yard. You know, it'd also be nice to be able to run combination trains early on. I mean, this Wild West thing. You watch a Wild West movie; it's got passenger and freight cars all connected together. It would be really nice to see it mixed consist. You know, Railroad Tycoon had mixed consist. Sid Meier's Railroads did mixed consist. We could do mixed consists. And having to fix your train with particular wagons doesn't make any sense either. So I would love to see something for freight that actually had a freight yard where they would, you know, instead of cargo loading up on the platform like we have in Transport Fever 2, I would love to see a freight yard where you saw wagons just being added to trains that are destined to go out to a certain city. And the train pulls in, the locomotive attaches to the outgoing train, and off it goes. And then the train that it brought in can get unloaded, and just like you would see it, just, you know, all the stuff coming out of it, except the locomotive will already be gone. You can sit there and just take up a slot on the track. And then that can be part of your design, is how many minutes are you going to spend autosaving? It'd be part of your design as to how many tracks you have for incoming, outgoing, etc. And maybe you would, instead of buying cars for the for each individual train, maybe you buy them for the station. So the station would have storage tracks, just again like in Derail Valley. So, you know, I need a bunch of boxcars here, so maybe I've got 6 boxcars, and then maybe I go, okay, I'm going to be having fuel going through here, so I need tankers now. So you have to set up a tanker area. You know, you got to set up another storage track to store tank wagons. I don't remember putting any of those locomotives out. I'm sure I did, but I still don't remember it. Did we pass through whatever? There's one city here I can never remember the name of it. And I don't know if we're heading into it or if we've already passed it.
That's because you were running your mouth.
Yes, I was. Ooh, yeah, we're coming right in the city. That was a pretty looking neighborhood as we drove by there. And yeah, this is the one I can never remember the name of. What's the name of it? Oh, it's going to go by so fast I can't read it.
Oh,
there was a sign there. Covina. I don't know why I could not remember that name. Okay, let's hop off from here and go over to the outgoing track here and wait for a train to show up here. Got more grain on the freight platforms. It's gonna drive me insane. Where are you going? How did you get here? Yeah, we're definitely not going to have time to ride the freight trains around. Ah, well. And that right there was a mistake, because, whoa, that was not what I wanted. These locomotives, because they have less power than they're higher speed, but they have less power, it really turned out not to be worth it to use them instead of the red and white ones I was using. Yeah, you can get, you know, big surprise there. Amtrak locomotives are not good for hauling freight. Who would have guessed it?
you're a genius.
All right, where is our next locomotive, or our next train? Here's one of our wood trains passing through. Taking wood down to those sawmills we passed south of Frisco. Here it comes. I'm just going to let this episode run a little long. I want to make a full loop of the map. So if we have to run the episode a little long to do that, then we're going to have to run the episode a little long to do that. Lots of people on this platform. Oh, I guess getting rid of the track next to a passenger platform does not have the same effect as it does on the freight freight platforms. I still like to do it if there's nothing there, because it just sort of it breaks things up and it looks different and just makes it more interesting to look at. See our freight. So we've got freight, intercity freight here next to us, but there's a lot of freight going off that direction, off to all the forests that are over there. There's a zillion forests over there. I don't think we even used all of them because it's too much pity. I think there's a steel plant there, steel mill. That's the word I wanted. And of course the machines factory there as well is what all the wood and steel is for. Well, that's an edge of the world thing you don't want to see. We'll look this way. It's very much less disturbing. You know, this seems like the most, remote sort of rural area we've had so far. Everything else has had something. It's industries or something. This is just trees. Trees and grass. There's nothing here. This was a very dull corner of the map.
Variety.
Yeah. Oh, well, there was something. Not being used, but interesting to look at least. Newport News. This is our last city. There's one more route we'll go ahead and do, and that's back to where we started. At Alexandria? I think it's Alexandria, yeah. Yeah, that one's mostly empty too. Sometimes you gotta, and that's another thing that bothers me about that, is sometimes you just have to run trains empty a lot because you've got a lot going one direction but nothing coming back. And we got one of those bus stations right there. Tram stations. And this, of course, is another example of the, wait a minute. Oh, stop. Got the guy already leaving. Another example of a place where we use the vanilla modern station instead of one of the modded ones. I'm just glad we do have different stations, and they do different things, so there's a reason to use different ones in different places, and it makes the map a lot more interesting. Really, although I've got so many stupid mods, but it really does make it a lot more interesting to see lots of different locomotives and the different wagons and the different stations and all of that stuff. What is this one track we have sitting here? I don't remember what it's for. We're going to pass whatever it is for in a moment. Looks like oil, I'm guessing. That was a short train, though. Oh, no, that's the fuel track, I think, that takes fuel from the fuel refinery up here up to Newport News. Pretty sure that's what this is.
Growler's parched. Where's Growler's beer?
You know, if I could find a mod that just did beer, I would put it on for you, Growler. Or even one that just does alcohol, just generic alcohol, I would put it on for you. But unfortunately, the only ones that have alcohol have a zillion different resources, and I am not prepared to deal with not only a change to the whole production chains in the game, but 3 times as much stuff to deal with. I'm not ready for that. This is one we put in after we gave up on there being boats. And now we are at the Northside Airport. Right there. I just heard a plane take off. I don't know where he disappeared to. Got one taxiing out, and one just arrived at the gate. Like a coal mine over there. I think this actually, the coal coming out of here goes over to the steel mill over next to Covina. And now we are back over on the east or the west side of the map. There would be Alexandria. Oh, we are going up and over something here. Usually I try to avoid doing that with passenger trains, but I must have had some reason for it here. Trying to make the passenger trains as direct as possible so that they maintain a good speed. I don't remember what that's for. That track we just went over. I know it's for an industry up there. I just don't remember what the industry is. And here we are, and here's where, you can't really see it anymore, but I started smoothing things out and it really messed stuff up. Like you can see right there. Well, no, that's because of that. You can see here where I smoothed and it did this. It just took all the earth away from the retaining walls. But that's it, guys. We have circled the entire map. Sorry we didn't get to freight and stuff, but I am not going to do more than one episode of just riding along. Hopefully, with a little luck, I'll be able to get things set up and start the new series tomorrow. If not, maybe I can do something else. We still have the gunk, but almost nobody was watching it, so I'm not really enthusiastic about doing more videos for it. I do want to finish the game. But I might just, put out the video here and there. We'll see when I just have a gap in things. But, yeah, I'll try to get Transport Fever 2 Series 21 set up for tomorrow. If I can't, then we'll see if I can do something else instead. But that's it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to tickle that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day.